I met Amy in 2012 when Lulubelle first moved here. The second I walked in, she was incredibly welcoming. I only knew what existed in the shop, about half of it, and the other half, she spent hours educating me on a very specific type of toys that came out of Japan. She was surprised by the knowledge I had of what was in there, and it was kind of then she was like, well, since you know what a lot of this is, would you mind helping me? From that day forward, I ended up working with Amy at Lulubelle for 7 years until the brick and mortar closed. She has helped me learn to appreciate life that I had nothing but contempt for. She helped me recognize that people care about me, and even in times of extreme lows and despair, she would always sit me down and tell me, you have no idea how many people love you and care about you. And that couldn't be more evident for myself and a lot of us that are here tonight. So even though she's not with us, she's still showing me that.
When I first met Amy, I think she was painting, just like painting the walls. And I peeked my head in, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? New business down here. And she invited me in, and we just sat and had this conversation about community for like probably 2 hours. And I immediately knew, one, that she was gonna be a good friend, and that she was gonna do things to really change the trajectory of downtown.
That's something I've been thinking about a lot when it comes to Amy, is this town is what it is because of her. Like, she came in and literally painted her town and made it beautiful because she loved it that much. When we were doing the first Southwest Maker Fest, we wanted to do this thing of, could we get everybody who's showcasing their stuff to show off how they do it? And I told her, and she was just like, yes, yeah, I'll do that. And she's like, I called our guy in Japan, and is putting together all these presentations. And in that moment, I remember thinking, this is the perfect example of this spirit that exists here. And she was the pinnacle of that.
For the people who don't know her that I've talked to lately, I've been telling them that basically any color that you see downtown is because of Amy. I think that's generally correct after you pointed out that she was part of the group that helped make murals possible.
I do remember where I met Amy. It was at Lulubelle, and I was tasked with legit walking the streets of downtown and meeting business owners, and everyone was awful except for Amy. And she was amazing, and she was so kind, and she had her little smush face puppies in there with her, and I had a French bulldog, and we just immediately bonded over our love for these little dogs, and she was just instantly a friend, right away. And I don't even know where to focus because there's so many stories and there's so many ways in which we connected, not just work and art and community and creating events and all of the things, but it was also her giving me year-old clothes for our kids and toys and books and taking care of our dogs when we were out of town and having us over for dinner and just being an incredible human.
I am another that does not remember where I met Amy. I remember just always coming here, and I love talking to her because I always knew what the scoop was. She would always keep me updated on what's going down in downtown Mesa. I get to vent and talk about what I felt too, and she was on the same line. So I just loved that I felt like it was a safe place to talk to her about that kind of stuff. Knowing where her mind was and where she was trying to see the future and the things that I wanted to do too, it motivated me as well. And it was just so sad because I really wanted to talk to her after the pandemic to see where her mind was at. So, but I know she still talks to me,
One thing that I'll never forget that she said to me was, we're sitting here today at the Nile, we're talking about hardships that our kids are going through, and it's breaking our hearts watching them make these decisions, not understanding where it's going to lead them, but we're there for them, and we're both here together talking, and we're going through the same thing together, and You know, a lot of people would say that that's a coincidence. She said, I don't believe in coincidences. And I said, I don't either. And she goes, I believe in cool incidences.
I met Amy in 2010 down at Lulu Bell Tucson. Walked into her shop and I was absolutely amazed at all the cool artwork she had, and it was totally up my alley. I was kind of a lost artist, didn't really know my place, and Amy kind of showed me how to channel my energy into my art. And I remember when she texted me that she was moving up here to Mesa, and she was all excited, and she wanted to set up a time to teach David how to airbrush, so we could start painting vinyl and stuff. So I remember going to their house, and we would do like these long paint sessions, and then from there, Amy invited me to come hang out at Lulu Bell. And then I kind of started working in the back. When my son was born, he was born with a lot of special needs and challenges and stuff like that. And so Amy was always texting me like, do you guys need anything? That's the type of person she was. Like, she always had just so much love for other people. And I remember when Connell was just going through his last days, and she was there all the time. And I don't think a lot of people know just kind of how much of her time that she sacrificed, but I love hearing everybody's stories, and it's cool to see how many people she's touched and how many people she will continue to touch through her creativity, her love, and everything that she's done for so many people.